Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. In the pre-shuffle, what I was seeing is that it looks like there's something that you have going on here that may be feeling like a bit of pressure, maybe feeling like a little bit stressed out right now or overwhelmed, something like that. I'm seeing the Emperor, I'm seeing the Knight of Cups, I'm seeing Judgment, I'm seeing Queen of Wands, I'm hearing North Face, I'm seeing Five of Pentacles. Okay. Looks like one person is reaching out to another, but there's a need to sort of look into this. I'm seeing this person be on the other end. Feels very straightforward how this is happening. But this person over here that's on the receiving end, they're not feeling great about things. Let's say it like this. For those of you that it's just you with yourself here, there can be something that you're doing where there's like something that you're sharing or something that you're expressing or communicating or sharing. But this would have to do with something important to you because we have the Emperor here. And as much as this is something that you're doing, there may be a part of you that's like not feeling great. It can be like sharing a message, having the Emperor and the Knight of Cups. It's giving the energy of like, say you want to get into writing poetry and doing it like on a more serious basis. You can be feeling a bit uncomfortable or maybe not feeling super confident right now or like questioning your creativity. It's like something business based or something serious based here that you're doing that's like an endeavor that means something to you. And I feel this Knight of Cups as kind of you being like sharing what it is that you have going on in this thing that matters to you. But then having Judgment and having the Queen of Wands, there can be like fear of being perceived while you're doing this or not being perceived in the way that you want to or in the light that you want to. So that can definitely be something that's coming up here. And also that question of like, what am I committing to? Or like, what did I just commit myself to? Something like that can be going on. For others of you, I'm seeing somebody come through and reach out to you, and you may not be feeling the best. There's something about, for those of you that this is two people here, I'm seeing somebody that you think a lot of this person, Emperor and the Knight of Cups. This is somebody that may have like a wow factor of some sort that description is coming through for this person. It's somebody that you could look up to in a way, or you see them as being very professional, or they hold a certain valuable position or some sort of authority, something like that, where the Emperor is serious business. It's somebody that you look at and you may admire this person, or like what they have going on or what they've built, or think they're a really good like business person or something like that. It's somebody that there's like a sense of respect for this person, and having them like hand select you in some way and reach out to you, communicate with you. I'm seeing you may be sort of looking at yourself in comparison to them and maybe feeling a bit insecure here about something. That's like Queen of Wands and Five of Pentacles feels like questioning your creativity or questioning your like attractiveness in some way or your ability to do something in some way. Because usually we see Queen of Wands as being like somewhat flamboyant and warm and like confident within their vibe and independent and somebody that draws other people in, and people are interested in this person because they're genuine, because they're authentic, because they're original, like that sort of vibe. Creative. But then having Five of Pentacles can be questioning all of those things or feeling insecure about those things specifically. So it's like the normal vibe that you'd see the Queen of Wands in, which is somebody that like has quite a presence and people are drawn to this person and drawn to what they're able to do and create and make happen. Those may be the things specifically where you're feeling like insecure, questioning yourself here. Some of you, it's because this is a little bit different or a little bit new for you to be doing right now. Why are you assigning this person so much power? Okay. Some of you may actually be feeling a little bit under the weather. Like you could physically be coming down with something. All right. Whatever this is that was going on, where you were like struggling maybe to get yourself into that space energetically, whether this be like mental, physical, spiritual, energetic thing that's happening here. I am seeing the Four of Swords, so this is kind of like a recharging that's happening. But then I'm also seeing the Hierophant and I'm seeing the Ten of Wands, and these can be like particular expectations that we're putting on ourselves, holding ourselves to a certain standard where we feel like we need to do something even for the greater good in some way, and feeling a lot of pressure because of it. Hierophant can also be things that we're committed to as well. Queen of Wands connected with Justice is about doing what we feel like is right and appropriate, and that we're holding ourselves to our own standard regardless of what other people think. It's like doing the right thing even if no one's going to like validate you for doing that or praise you for doing that. And I'm seeing something that you almost feel like you need to do, but some of you, like, you're scared to do this, or you feel like you can't for some reason, or you're like, am I powerful enough to do that? Something like this. Or some of you feel like you don't have the position to be. It's something again like that, where maybe like circumstantially it's making this a more challenging situation. But I'm getting your guides just say, like, if you feel it, just do it. Because that's how you're sort of going to carve out this position for yourself. Yeah, I'm getting this again. It looks like there's something that action hasn't been taken on this and it needs to be initiated, but while I'm seeing someone sitting there not doing something, they're like looking over why they're feeling overwhelmed or why they're feeling stressed out. And it's because there's this part of them that feels like they need to do something to bring about balance. Also, too, having justice, this can be like a very big thing. It can be something like way far beyond outside of ourselves, or it can be an interpersonal thing that you have going on here. Like, justice can have to do with the legal system, it can have to do with government, it can have to do with our personal values and morals, especially too having the Hierophant here. It can deal with like collections of people, communities of people, or it can be your personal commitment. So I'm seeing a wide like span of things that this could connect with. Some of you, this has to do with, again, like something that you feel is going on outside of yourself, but that you're a part of. Some of you, this has to do with something very personally that you're going through right now. I'm seeing too, like Emperor and the Four of Swords can be you being in a particular position that holds importance of some sort for some reason, and it being a position of value or like a role that you play that's important. Four of Swords is taking a step back from that and sort of like easing off the gas here, maybe needing to recharge, to reevaluate something, to think about it, needing to collect yourself. But it can be like taking a break from certain responsibilities or certain roles or duties that we have, and then having this Knight of Cups and the Hierophant. It does feel like somebody getting something off of their chest here that feels important for them to say. It seems like it has to do with this person's beliefs, like they're doing it out of like conviction for their beliefs in some way. But then having also Judgment and the Ten of Wands, it's like, why is this so stressful? Like, what's going on that this feels like it's such a big deal, or that this feels so burdensome? And then having Queen of Wands and then having Justice, this is like this calling for one to do what they feel like is right within this situation regardless. But then having Five of Pentacles and having the King of Wands, it's somebody being like, I don't know if I can do that in the position that I'm in, or if I have enough power in the position that I'm in. But that's interesting too, because we start off with the Emperor, and so we see somebody in a position of power that like others would look at this person and be like, have respect for what this person does and how they carry themselves and how they choose to live their life. And so it's like a position of authority in some way, to some degree, and in a way that's significant, in a way that matters. So then it's almost like ironic that this person is over here feeling like this, where they're like, I want to do something but I can't. But like Five of Pentacles would imply that that's not actually the case, that one is feeling like that, but that may not actually be what's going on in reality. It may be connected with this person's belief system, and they actually can do something here. But they may be feeling scared too, or maybe like it's an impossible situation, but that may not be so. Like, that's generally the implication with the Five of Pentacles. It's like, it may be hard to figure out how that's going to work, or just needing to trust that things will work out, and that one just needs to do what they feel like is right or the thing to do here. Aries, Taurus, I'm hearing Gemini, and I'm also seeing Libra. Capricorn. Yeah, having Five of Pentacles and the King of Wands, and then having the Devil come out, it can be somebody like facing their fears or facing obstacles. But yeah, Devil can be like all the reasons why we're not doing something that we feel called to do. Devil can be connected with like societal norms as well, things like that, or like pressures. Also too, so we have Devil and we have Ten of Cups. The combination of these two can be like a really strong desire for one to like pursue their happiness, but the Devil can be going about it in like a distorted way that's not going to get you to there. So it's kind of like using material means to try to like advance spiritually or emotionally, but that's like not, it's not going to work essentially. This can also be like thinking that having like more material stuff around you or certain material things is going to lead to happiness, but that's also like a false narrative as well, because it doesn't get you there either. It can also be like cheap ways to get you like happy momentarily as well, but it's something that's like not gonna last, because Devil can be like temporary things that we're doing sort of as a band-aid, and I'm seeing like the objective is for the hope to feel this Ten of Cups. So it's like the hope is to feel happy or to feel better or to feel like one is pursuing something genuinely that they feel connected with, but the Devil is going about it in a way where it might get you there, but then you're going to get like ripped back away from it because you didn't go the proper route. So it's like a temporary stay that you get, rather than how long you'd get to stay if you did this properly. It's like cheap thrills even. And I feel like one knows that at this point too with the Eight of Swords. It's like somebody recognizing the truth within that, but also being like, well, what can I do about that? Maybe being unsure. I feel like the vibe is that somebody may keep like doing the same thing because it is bringing them momentary joy and happiness, and the part of them that like impulsively keeps doing this, they're having a hard time sort of reining this in. So even though they know that it's not like a long-term thing, I'm almost seeing them be at a point where they're like, I almost can't control myself impulsively. This is feeling sort of like one can't really do anything, or feeling trapped. Like with this card, we see it as being somebody that if they would just take the mask off and if they would back up into the swords, they could like liberate themselves from this. But it can be really a feeling of being stuck. And then this is feeling like the impulses that carry somebody, whether it be like something that comes in and is tempting and this person like can't resist it, or it's somebody like doing something impulsively that they also feel like they can't resist that either. And Nine of Pentacles is like the enjoyment that comes from that. But it's also, these are all cards that would connect with something being very short-lived. So it may feel intense and amazing immediately, but then long term it's like this feeling of emptiness, like feeling like it gets, even the Ten of Cups like seeps out of them. And I am seeing the Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck, so it feels like somebody's getting closer and closer to being like, this process is not working, or like this cycle is not working, and going around and around and around and doing it again and again and again. But they just may not be in a space where they're fully like committed or ready to end this yet. So that may be why, if you guys are watching this person or like interacting with them in your life, you may see somebody that's like repeating a similar cycle, and they're just like not ready to complete something yet. For those of you that this is you, I feel like you're still getting something out of your system. which you'll do when you're ready to do. There's really, like, you don't need to do something before you're ready to do it. It's your journey, it's your experiencing. There's nothing bad or good about it. It's just what's happening for you right now. And you may be doing something that's not super long lasting. And I think there's going to be a part of you that's going to be activated through this that may want something that you can stand on at some point. And so then things will shift for you, but you don't need to force yourself to be ready to do something before you are, because that's just where you are with things. Like, you're working on your own time frame. This thing that feels stressful, because the Ten of Wands is in the very center of this spread, it feels like if you'll just analyze this and address it, it's really going to get things moving here. So if you've been feeling stagnant, it's like the thing that's stressing you out the most or overwhelming you the most, it's about addressing that first. Like that thing that's right in front of you, addressing that and doing what needs to be done here. I feel too like if you can kind of shift over and tap into your fire energy rather than your air energy, it's also going to carry and motivate you too. Because sometimes fire energy can be slightly impractical, but sometimes that's exactly the type of hope or faith or motivation we need to get us out of a situation where we've been overthinking or behaving in a way that's too reserved to be able to remove us from something or allow us to surpass it in some way. Because I see this Knight of Wands and the Five of Pentacles and the King of Wands as sort of being this part of you that you can tap into that may be slightly unrealistic, but it like doesn't have as many worries. And if you can kind of just be like, I'm gonna go based off of my hope or my faith or like my grand optimism here, because optimism is connected with fire, because that's the energy of Sagittarius, which is like the grand optimist of the zodiac. If you can just tap into that, even though you may be in a situation where you're like, I don't know how in the world this is gonna work, but I'm gonna do it anyway, I'm seeing that like something is going to happen, something's gonna get moving here. So that's what's being encouraged. You just like being very instinctive and following what you feel like you're meant to be doing here, not being held back by fear and just doing your thing. And I do see a situation that it may be, looking at it from a practical standpoint, you may be like, I don't know how this is possibly going to work. But if you have the faith that it will, I feel like you're going to see something magical happen here, okay? All right, we are looking at Aries, Taurus, Capricorn, and Libra. All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I'd like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.